Oh, hey, my stomach hurts. Let me go ahead and eat some Christmas edition Tums.
No new shit to do in the world. It's only like 5 or 6, 7 different foods. And they making all these other foods.
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Hope everyone out there's having a good start to their week, y'all. We got a good one coming up today to end your Monday evening, y'all. We got some more of this Erica Kirk stuff. We got some Scientology. We got some Tums. What else we got? We got some crazy mass situation on the beach. Let's get into it today, y'all. Let's have some fun. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I think it's very possible that Charlie Kirk discovered something before he died, and not a lot of people knew about it. And it was something damning, and it was something that threatened the existence not only of that organization, but of the kind of political infrastructure that supported that organization. That organization seems like it was being used by certain people in ways that Charlie didn't know about. And he may or may not have stumbled upon something that was damning enough that someone decided that he had to go.
Serve a just God, and I rest easy in knowing that he's sovereign, but he's just. And so let the Lord handle that.
Would Charlie have forgiven his killer?
He's in heaven.
So weird. Look at Trump. Thinking with this, you know what? Look at him.
And they bring this
That's a
back
predator
up.
right
What
there,
are we
y'all.
supposed to do? Relive that trauma all over again? No, at this point, it's what? The conspiracy collection. Get it before Christmas. Look, stop in the name of God.
Amen.
Did y'all see Erica Kirk eyes during this interview? Side note, before we even get into the video, who do y'all think her eyes look like, fool? Mr. Vice President? But you know what they say though, right? They say the eyes is the key to the soul. When I looked at this video, I saw something dark, fool. But when y'all see the video, I need y'all to let me know, what did y'all see? I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if it was the video playing tricks on me, on my eyes, but when I seen her eyes, I was like, oh, why they look like they fucking morphing, fool?
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now? Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
So y'all let me know, did y'all see a little twinkle, or am I tripping, fool? And I'm not gonna lie, that face.
Right here, remember when someone wrote, a long time ago, someone wrote help here. See, all these windows are always closed, man. Nobody knows what's up there. See, all these windows are closed up. See, in the other building too.
So what did you do every day? Like when you say you went in every day?
So I'd go do King of Queens. And then after rehearsal, I'd have to drive to Hollywood and put in my 2.5 hours a day.
2.5 hours every day?
Yeah, every minimum,
Wow.
Joe. No,
Minimum.
Okay, so then if I couldn't, like, let's say on a tape day, I couldn't. I was there from 9 in the morning till 10 at night, as you know. I'd have to make up the time on the weekends, or I'd have to make up time on my hiatus. So I'd be there all day and night.
So like, what if you went to Hawaii on vacation or something?
Very rare that Scientologists would go on a vacation. I'd have to make up the time. I'd have to make up the time when I got back. I'd have to put in on weekends. Like, let's say if my schedule was, 12 to 2:30 to go in, then I'd have to go in 1 to 6 or 1 to 10 or 9 to 10. So there's an everydayness of this indoctrination. It's not only that, there's its policies, right? You're studying the policies all day and all night. You're looking up words you don't understand. You're being tested. Like after you read an L. Ron Hubbard's policy, then you're tested. You go into another room and they go, what is the definition of this? What is the definition of that? So it's almost worse. We had a cult expert on, and he said it's worse. Scientology is worse because you actually brainwash yourself, because you have to study the policies of the church and then you get tested on it, and you have to look up words you don't understand. You have to put them in sentences. You have to write essays. You have to do clay demonstrations. So you're really brainwashing yourself, and you're speaking all the same language. You're all working towards one goal, and that is very intoxicating. Like, it is to feel like you're saying, to be tribal, to be part of something. Imagine being part of something that you think and are told and are reading every day is the most important thing that's going to save mankind. You are doing the work that no other group is doing. And so you believe that. You want to believe that. You want to believe, I'm more than just an actress. I'm more than just this. I'm saving the planet.
Have you heard that conspiracy theory that McDonald's, it says 100% beef? That's an actual trademark name.
So they name their beef 100% beef, even though it's 40%.
36% beef, 64% is made with fillers.
I don't think, when I eat that, I'm like, listen, man, this isn't going to be
a
good.
bad night.
I'm sitting here, I'm looking at what Trump is doing. I'm like, he's doing this intentionally now. Trump is accepting the collapse of the country, and instead he's accelerating it and selling it for parts and scrap to enrich himself and his family and his friends and his foreign donors. That's what I see happening. Trump has accepted the country is collapsing. And maybe when somebody whizzed a bullet by his head, he decided this ain't worth it anymore. So he decided he'd rather live and sell us out. I will support a Marjorie Taylor Greene Ro Khanna ticket if it means getting the foreign scum out of our politics. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a Republican. I don't care if it's a Democrat. Anybody that's going to come in here and say, we just gave another $1 billion to foreign countries, we're never doing that again, that's who I'm voting for. I don't care.
I'm gonna have to find these clips for tomorrow's video, but there's a guy that he's like in Washington, D.C., and he films, and he'll film like politicians, and he'll ask them like, hey, America first? And none of them respond. None of them respond. Or he'll say things like that, like America first. Like, what do you think of America? And nobody responds, y'all. It's like, who's in our politics? Who's running the show? Who is it?
On the record once again, but this time he's talking about rappers losing their innocence at Diddy parties. Terrence Howard just don't care, man. I take my hat off to Terrence because he keeps exposing the darkness that many people are afraid to talk about. Watch what Terrence said on this interview.
So funny. My friend said to me, rappers, they're all so tough until you hear their real name.
Yeah, well, until you see them at a puffy party.
Oh.
Then they're not tough no more. I'm surprised that the rap game is still alive because the masculinity that the rappers are supposed to portray.
What is it with all the man-on-man action that I'm learning about? I mean, like with the puffy parties, like the last thing I ever thought that went on there was gay stuff. Not that gay stuff was wrong, it's wonderful. I just did not think that's what Puffy was doing.
Yeah, well, I didn't think it either. And even when my assistant said that stuff.
Oh!
At a beach, y'all. Aliens don't play. Or the Jays don't play. I don't know who got what. I know they were attacking like a festival, a Hanukkah festival. Those Australians, they're stomping that dude out with the cops there. They didn't care.
People have now been killed and over 40 others injured in the Australian Bondi Beach attack. But there's something very important that I want to point out here that nobody is talking about. Keep in mind, this attack occurred at a Jewish holiday event, okay? And before you call it an anti-Semitic attack, let me just point out something for you. Not even 2 weeks ago, Netanyahu himself criticized the Australian government for their recognition of a Palestinian state, literally describing it, and I quote, as an absurd prize for terrorism. A very specific usage of words. And earlier this day, after the attack, Very ironic timing, by the way, but Netanyahu said that he believed that the Australian government poured oil on the flames of anti-Semitism. Isn't it interesting how there's this huge argument going on right now about Ahmed al-Ahmed, which, do keep in mind, is a Muslim who tackled and disarmed the shooter. Doesn't exactly fit the narrative now, does it? And come to find out, a Syrian as well. That definitely doesn't fit the narrative now, does it? And can you guess where the shooter is from? Can you guess what his prior job experience is? Because I'm noticing that the media doesn't want to talk about that part. See, what I find most interesting about all this is the fact that Australia is a country with not only very strict gun law, but a country with one of the lowest gun-related death rates in the developed world. So tell me, who exactly do you think is responsible for this? This video is not to take away from the families of which have been affected by this tragedy. Do keep in mind, a 10-year-old child lost their life today. And my condolences, my prayers go out to every single family member of which has been affected. It is a very heartbreaking day for Australia.
You know, it was crazy to see those clips, y'all, but you can tell that they got strict gun laws because the first thing I recognized when I watched this was the dude had a shotgun and the other dude had it like a single bolt thing. Like out here in America, they got, 60 round clips and it's shooting semi-automatic. Pop, 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 right? This one, doop, 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 right? But it still did a lot of damage out there, y'all, a lot of damage. And I just couldn't imagine, like I was watching clips and you see the strollers out there and those are just things that are on my mind. Like we're going to be going to a little Christmas, thing in downtown where everything's lit up and it's just packed with people. We went last year, right? We're going to go this year, I think this weekend, right? And I'm going to put my baby on, my backpack. I'm not going to push him in that stroller, y'all, because you just never know. And if something like that was to pop off with a bunch of people, that stroller's getting knocked over, y'all. So my boy's going to be right here. But it's just sad thing. Shouts out to, all the Australians out there. I know we got a lot of y'all that watch, over here and, tragic times out there.
The beach shooting was crazy as hell. These dudes acting like it's GTA in real life. They was on some 5-star rampage shit. We just had a mass shooting the other day, and I just told everybody. Like, these days, you gotta prepare any minute, any second, any time, anywhere. It don't matter. Shit can pop off anywhere at any time. The difference between this one and the one that happened in America was this shit was caught on camera. He even had a moment where one of the shooters got their shit took away from him. Now, if I was a Samaritan that did it, I would have blew his ass away. Now, I'm hearing that 15 to 16 people was unalived by their shooting. They said upwards of 40 plus people was injured. So they just didn't have no plan. They just wanted to unalive anybody they seen. What was the motive again, fool? Y'all don't understand. We in some dark times. Dark times. I know Australia passed a law. I think it's 15 and younger can't have social media, right? But I don't think that's why they did this, right? I don't know. When I know, I'm going to let y'all know. But if you know before me, let me know. Down below in the comments.
Lady in Blue, born in 1602. She had these crazy experiences. Some, it gets a little weird, but what is true is her ability for biolocation, meaning she could be in another place at the same time as where she was. And
so 2 bodies.
Basically, almost be like astral plane. You're physically in this area. Sister Maria de Jesus de Agreda, and she was a Spanish Franciscan abbess. She would go to Native American tribes in the US, like in Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona, and tell them about the gospel. And so when missionaries finally went into the new world of the Americas, right, they were presenting Christ and they said, we've already heard this. We've already been baptized.
Wow.
From the lady in the blue. She told us. And she told them the tribe name, what the location looked like, and she's thousands of miles away.
But it's impossible because she was in
Spain then.
Yeah. Weird. Cross oceans.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The Germano tribe, they described her as a pale woman wearing a shimmering blue cloak who taught them Christian prayers and urged them to seek baptism.
Wow.
They were not able to disprove that. The church concluded she likely experienced what they would call a genuine mystical phenomena of biolocation.
Fascinating.
The Charlie Kirk saga continues, and you guys, it looks like they're still lying.
So, just the other day, they had a pre-trial hearing for Tyler Robinson, the alleged shooter in the Charlie Kirk assassination, and here he is present with his lawyers. Along with this, they released footage of him talking to his lawyers, and you couldn't hear it, but they had a professional lip reader who transcribed this whole conversation. So I have questions right off the bat, like one, why is he admitting this directly into a camera for all to see? And two, what kind of lawyer would even allow this type of conversation to happen during a pre-trial with a camera behind them? It just seems all too convenient. Now, let's go over what he said. So he said, I'm thinking about the shooting daily. Unfortunately, it's doing my head in. I'm good for nothing. He also says it's driving me mental. So all of a sudden, Tyler Robinson is from the UK because that's
Epstein.
UK vernacular. Nobody in America talks like this. He also says just smoking a lot, not sleeping at night. But there's a huge hole in this plot. Being that he is currently held at the Utah County Jail, where smoking is completely prohibited, so how is this even possible? Now, the person transcribing this whole thing is Nicola Hickling, and her company's called Lip Reader Limited, who is a deaf 20-year veteran in lip reading. Now, it's pretty interesting that she's from the UK, so now we're just paraphrasing in your own lingo, so how can we trust this at all? And if that doesn't muddy the waters already, her company actually uses AI technology to enhance and interpret lip reading, so how do we not know that all this isn't just AI altogether? Then there's this, where I found a thread pertaining to this situation. Somebody responded, bro, this guy's smiling while admitting it. Pure insanity, justice can't come fast enough. Well, for one, he's probably smiling because he probably didn't say that, that's why it doesn't match. And two, you're probably a bot because this account is based in Nigeria. So the question is, who is paying for responses like these? And if this comparison doesn't convince you, I don't know what will. Make sure you guys go to my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, where I do.
See, it's like if that was AI, they're planting the seed for him to, do himself in. And it just dies right there, just like, Epstein. We know what happened, but they told us, no, he just offed himself, and there's nothing we can do about it, right? Nothing we can do about it. We can make our videos here and do what we're gonna do, but at the end of the day, nothing came from, Epstein, and all these shady things happened, like what's going on here. A lot of shady things, y'all. A lot of shady things with his wife. We got a thing coming of a clip coming up later on about, how his young ones. There's not one picture on the internet of, like, say, me seeing them in public and I'm snapping a picture of them like, oh, look who it is, Charlie Kirk and his wife, and, taking a picture of them. There's not one of them, y'all. And a lot of the pictures of the young ones, they're facing the other way. So we'll get into that.
We'll break down on all this, but let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
They say that there are like little people living in the jungle.
Yeah, like a dwarf.
Like dwarfs.
Yeah.
Is that here too?
Yeah. These are the ones. Yeah.
That's
These are
them?
dwarfs.
Have you seen them before?
Yeah. Yep.
You've seen them?
Yeah, they're representative of the dwarfs.
They look like people or what?
They look like people.
What do they do?
They kill people. We don't see them very often. But
Little-
you go to the jungle and if it is very quiet, then you can see them running around.
Whatever, you've seen them too? Everyone sees them?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I've had a similar experience where I was fucking with a one of those books, and I didn't see a being, but God, it's so creepy. It still creeps me out, dude. In fact, a being might have been less creepy.
Yeah.
I'm just, after I'd been, I don't know, intoning some fucking shit in this book, I hear this. I look behind me. You know when a coin falls on the ground, we all know that sound.
Yeah.
Like a fucking coin had fallen out of nowhere and just landed on my on the carpet of my shitty apartment. And dude, I was the same. I gave the book. I'm like, fuck this. I mean, first of all, it was like a penny. It wasn't even a valuable coin. But
yeah,
I suppose if it had been like a silver
wasted
dollar.
opportunity.
But the point is, I didn't like it either. That's something you and me have in common. We're interested, but then also there's a sense of like, man, I don't know if I quite belong there. That seems like a no-go zone.
That's called in a port when something just pops into material reality like that. And I don't know, this is just my speculation with, you know, how interacting with the spirit world for so long. It could have been something exactly like what happened to me, trying to stop you. Like, nope. Don't look at this stuff. But,
or it could have
yeah.
just been like throwing, you know, like throwing bread to a bird. You know what I mean? It could have just been like that. You know what I mean? It could have just been like, that monkey why is he making sounds that bring him into our attention? They like little round bits of metal. Throw him a little round bit of metal. See if you...
Connemara Giant, also called Con of the Sea, and is located in County Galway
crazy.
Island in the village of Recess. The proof is out there. What do you believe?
That fog is so thick that's covering California that these birds don't know where the fuck to go. Look at all these fucking birds. They supposed to be flying south for the winter. They still stuck in Northern California. Like, what the fuck is really in that fog that got these birds acting like this?
Don't ever eat at a fast food restaurant for your meals.
What fast food restaurant can I go to if I'm somebody that's super busy? I don't have time to prep my meal. I just want to go somewhere that's healthy, eat it and leave. What would you recommend that somewhat qualifies it as healthy for you?
So there's a couple of ways you can hack this. If you go to a fast food restaurant and you get a burger that without the bun and without the sauce, because the bun has, in many cases, 40 to 50 ingredients in a bun. Pat, it's crazy. You can't go to Chick-fil-A. So Chick-fil-A is completely off the menu, but you can actually go to Five Guys. You know, I was in the airport yesterday and the guy said, hey, I just went to Five Guys. And I said, okay, what'd you get? And he said, I got a burger with just lettuce and tomatoes. Like, that's great. That's actually not bad. A lot of these restaurants don't cook the hamburgers in seed oils. They're cooking it on a griddle. They're cooking it in the animal fat.
When you take your kids to a trampoline park and you sign them in for a birthday party, you're signing away your rights to sue if your kid gets hurt. They're hiding these evil contract clauses in the waiver at the front desk so that you're getting forced into a secret court system. This weekend, a 6-year-old girl died in one of their parks in Florida. She was driving a 25-mile-an-hour go-kart. Her tiny little body was in an accident. She was airlifted out and died shortly thereafter at her big sister's birthday party. She's one of dozens of children that are in these secret courtrooms right now with this company. I am testifying in multiple cases. One of the big comments I saw was, there's risk in everything you do. You're right, but you get to choose if you're going to go frequent a place that puts money ahead of the risk to your child. We're talking about a park that I was sent documents about, and these documents talked about the CEO prioritizing cutting safety checkers that were going to check harnesses for kids swinging on zip lines 35 feet in the air over concrete floors to save $10,000 a year.
The guy that went out to shoot the Jews was paid by the Jews to kill other Jews to make people that don't like Jews look bad.
I just seen a new conspiracy theory. It states that Bonnie Blue is actually an alien who's come here to collect as much human DNA as possible to take back to her home planet. And for some reason, that does not sound as crazy as it should.
Y'all hear what's going on with USPS? So apparently they're having some type of employee shortage, so packages are not getting delivered. They basically said you have to come work for them in order for your package to get delivered on time, y'all. This is crazy. I told y'all the holidays are done.
We have to load all of these back into both of our vehicles because of these two refusing to take over 200 packages. So if your guys' orders are a day or two delayed, that is why. Because
yo, between you and me, y'all not getting y'all mail on time, yo. I'm just be honest with y'all, yo. Look at this. Come on, man. You're not getting your mail on time or whatever. It's everywhere. We don't got the manpower. We don't got the staffing. You're not getting your mail. I ain't gonna lie to you. Look at all of this. Look at all of this. Look at that one. Look at that one. You see how it's falling over? I'm gonna just be honest with you. You're not getting your mail on time. Cause if I gotta deal with this, you gotta fucking wait. You heard?
Hello. I just wanted to put a bug in your ear. The Postal Service is hiring. I've been with them for 15 years. It is a really good job. As long as you come in and do your job to the best of your ability, you will be good. But we are extremely short-staffed and we need help. It's a good government job. The benefits are good. You know, every job has its plus and minuses, but you're there to get this money, okay? So go to the website. It's www.usps.com/careers. Put in your state, look for jobs that you may be interested in, and apply. And I can guarantee you that you will definitely hear back because we need help. Okay?
Good morning, TikTok. So I just want to let y'all in on some tea coming from a USPS employee, a city carrier. Anywho, we about to do this big old hiring spree. They're about to hire 1,400 people, literally. City carriers, mail clerks, you name it, they hiring them. Don't ever say I ain't let y'all in on nothing. Y'all need to get on www.uspscareers.com. Go ahead, put them applications in and make that money. Stop sitting at home doing nothing.
If you want to lose weight and ain't nothing working for you, then bring your fat ass down to the post office. Hold everybody.
You know what's crazy with the post office though, y'all? When you go to the post office, to drop something off, first of all, they're so out of date. They're so out of touch with technology. And it's the government, so that's why. Because we're supposed to be funding that, so it's top notch, but who knows where this government money. But that's a whole nother story, y'all. But when you look in the back there, that's their warehouse. You ever worked at a UPS warehouse? There's conveyor belts going everywhere. There's all these, when you're unloading, there's a conveyor belt that goes in. When you're loading, there's a conveyor belt that goes in. Here, there's none of that. When you go to your post office, that's your local post office. That's what deals with all the mail for your little city. And it's so outdated. There's no conveyor belts. There's none of that. So it's all human speed. How fast is the human working? It's not like a conveyor belt. Boom, boom, boom. All right, you got to take it here, put it on the cart. And then when you're done filling up that cart, you got to push the cart to wherever they push it into one of those bins. And then you push the bin to wherever the local courier, vehicle's at. And then you load it, y'all. They are so slow and so outdated at the post office. You go to the UPS store, quick, quick, quick. Now, I used to go to the post office all the time because I used to sell on eBay. So I was in and out of there every day. So outdated, y'all. The UPS store and the post office, it's like a whole nother dimension, y'all. And it's so frustrating because we're paying those government funds to fund that. And there's no updates ever. Where's our money going?
That P. Diddy 50 Cent bullshit that everybody was so focused on had an agenda behind it. And what do you know? Just found out over 1,000 preachers were sent to Israel as their guests. What do you think that means? I think you all know exactly what that means. Not to mention the CEO and founders of Blackboard. If you don't know what Blackboard is, how can I say it, affiliated with every college and every major college and major university in this country. So what do you think that means for the education system here in this country now? The state of Israel is pulling in all the major players. We all remember when all these governors and congressmen and senators and all these people went to Israel a little while back. They're pulling in all of our top players in this country. And everybody's sitting here worried about P. Diddy and all that dumbass shit. Listen, even the Epstein list. Truth be told, ain't nobody finna ain't nothing gonna happen to those people. Nothing at all.
Nothing.
But to keep people talking and keep them away from what's really going on, hell yeah, let's all keep talking about the Epstein list. I'm gonna be real with you. What's going on with that Epstein list?
I like this guy's style.
Or should I say, with the type of thing that goes on in the Epstein Island, that's been a part of their agenda forever. They've been doing this shit forever. So you're not gonna stop that. You need to start focusing on what's really going on. And people that think they shouldn't give a damn, I'm going to be real with you. You're going to be left in the dark. Why? Because the future is here. It's not around the corner. Our new world begins now. And if you do not understand what's going on, you are going to be fucked in this system. Open your eyes up, people. Distractions, don't let them get to you no more.
I mean, people are already effed in this system, right? They're full of student loan debt, full of credit card debt, full of, you know, car debt, everything. They're full of all that. They're already screwed. And they're still distracted by caring about this Diddy thing that has nothing to do with us, y'all. Nothing to do with us. Those people he affected, whatever. You've been doing that. They've been knowing about that. I've been knowing about that. I was watching a little bit of it with my lady yesterday, and I'm like, see, you're the people that are full. Like, she didn't even know Tupac's from New York. She's like, oh, I thought he was from California. Right? Like, those are the people that are watching this that are so fascinated with it. But anybody that knows, they've known about this forever, right? It's all a distraction. When you watch it and you're awake, you see how much of a distraction it is, how much lies they tell. Talking about Suge Knight was this awesome businessman, and Suge Knight was, he was all in the streets, and no, he wasn't. He hired people around him that were in the streets, but he wasn't. But the way they talk on that documentary, I'm like, man, people are just so asleep to everything that's been going on. I mean, my girl thought Tupac was from California. So those are the people that are watching this that are so distracted with it. That's what he's saying. If you're not caught up in this system, you're effed. And look at student loan debt. They're effed. They're screwed. They ain't getting out of that.
Or
Wake
is to
up.
break into heaven and take over. And the Tower of Babel, people think that was just stone and mortar, but I don't think Yahuwah would have intervened if it was just stone and mortar. It was a high-tech system they were working on back then. And they've been trying to recover it ever since. Not only that, but they're going to break their fallen brethren out of Hades.
Is that why they're messing with so much technology now? CERN and things like that? Are they puncturing into that dimension, bringing these entities into our reality?
I believe so.
See, you might think this sounds crazy, but to me, this makes perfect sense. This is why Kern are around. This is why they invest so much money into these types of things, because they're trying to gain access to the side that they were cast from. What really goes on at Kern is probably unimaginable. There's many people that believe that they get technology and an idea from tapping in with demonic entities from different dimensions. Just look at Crowley and Lamb. Look at Parsons when he talks about trading souls for technology. Parsons was the NASA rocket scientist. These guys are playing with fire and they really don't know what they're going to open up.
I've never seen something like this. If I was Austin Reeves' agent, I might think about suing Rich Paul for I don't know if there's something they could do. I've never seen an agent, an active agent with the top player that's the face of the league. And you're literally saying that Austin Reeves need to come off the bench. That's crazy. I do like the idea of Marcus Smart starting because they need to have pressure at the point of attack. I don't like the way they just went about this. This was corny. LeBron, you look already shooting a three-pointer. Everybody want to change the narrative for LeBron because they don't want to say that this guy is narcissistic as shit.
Did y'all see what the president just said about the G's? No? Watch this. I'll be right back.
So we're into 6G now. I just 5G. I was a leader on 5G getting that done. And now they're up to 6. Let's do it again. What does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin? See, I like the cameras the old days. So they just had a nice feature. Now they cover every little...
Sorry, did he just say that it looks inside the human skin? Of course, we know that he's completely just playing. Pretty coincidental that this exact one happens to be 6 out of all numbers. Yeah, I know it goes in order, but still. Safe to say, I don't think there'll be a 7. By the way, speaking of the 6-7 fad, I'm sure it's completely organic, completely unrelated. To be at 6s and 7s means to be in a state of confusion, disorder, disarray from trying to manage too many things at once. Have you guys seen the news lately? Have you guys seen the thousands of narratives happening on Twitter right now, lately? Have you guys seen the GOP tell us things are completely opposite of reality, lately? Unrelated.
Did you guys know that, according to rumors, the Japanese government literally bricked up an entire tunnel just to keep people from finding out what's on the other side? It's called the Inunaki Tunnel, one of the creepiest and most mysterious places in all of Japan. In this video, we're gonna break down the 3 reasons why you should never go anywhere near it. Reason number 1. Legend says that at the end of the tunnel, there's an abandoned village with a super dark past. People who've tried to reach it supposedly just vanished. No trace. And the weirdest part, almost nobody ever talks about it. Reason number 2. There's this myth about a local law. The story goes that the second you cross into the tunnel, regular Japanese laws no longer apply. Like on the other side, you're completely outside the law. Anything goes. Reason number 3. Your phone signal dies completely. People say their phones lose service way before they even reach the entrance, like something is actively blocking it. And if you search Inunaki Tunnel on TikTok right now, you'll find dozens of videos. Just a heads up though, some of them are seriously unsettling and will give you chills.
Just look at this, y'all, and I just got the idea, but just look.
world that we live in could possibly be a stage. And I need to try to get to the bottom of it before I decide to have children. And when I discovered what I discovered, I decided I wasn't going to have children because the only way to prepare for the future is to study history. There's a very large gap in our fossil record for being a human being. Something happened. There's a very large gap in the fossil record and the historical record. And once I found out that song, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, was the slaves praying and hoping that a UFO would come down and they would take them away from here, that opened up my eyes towards, okay, I got to look at the world a lot different.
Yeah.
Everything that's being shown to me is not the truth. Manufactured media can control narratives and actually brainwash people. Propaganda, television, media to brainwash people. And a guy from the CIA told me that the whole universe is based off sound, light, and frequency. Look that up.
That's deep, because when you think about it, right? Even when they talk about things that we lived, and you read it, it don't match up with us being there.
No, it don't match up. Because it's not suspicious to nobody that, there's one race of people on the planet who seem like they in a rush to always get all the resources for everything. Almost like where they came from, it was scarce. And whenever they got here, it's a mad dash to get everything. Why are they able to organize themselves so well? How are they able to do this?
Hey.
That's another conversation.
It's another conversation.
One of the newly released photos from Jeffrey Epstein's estate shows a framed image sitting directly on his desk, front and center, of what appears to be a woman lying down, possibly incapacitated. Her face is blacked out to protect her identity. Let that sink in. This was not hidden. This wasn't tucked away. This was displayed like decor on the desk of a convicted sex trafficker. The photo was released by House Democrats as part of a tranche from Epstein's estate. 19 images pulled from more than 95,000, and it's already igniting outrage for one simple reason. Why would a man like Epstein keep a photo like that framed on his desk? The image comes from Epstein's Manhattan townhouse. In the same room, in the same moment, Epstein is sitting across from Steve Bannon, who was advising him on how to rehabilitate his public image after his sex crime conviction. And that's not the only photo on his desk. Another appears to show a person, possibly a child, leaning on Epstein. And a third image, also blacked out, sits inches from his hand. Multiple images, all protected, all disturbing, all placed where Epstein could see them every single day. No one is claiming these photos alone prove a crime, but they raise a question that cannot be ignored. What kind of confidence does it take to display images like this openly, unless you believe you're untouchable? Powerful friends, political allies, decades of protection. And now, finally, the public is seeing just a fraction of what was sitting in plain sight. This is not gossip. This is not conspiracy. This is documented evidence from Epstein's own estate. And if this is what was comfortable enough to sit on his desk, what in the hell was not?
There's a lot of ways to cheat with a standard deck. Let's say you're a one-man operation. You have nobody inside on it with you, whatever. You just show up to a casino. Any game, by the way. All you have to do is have the ink on one of your fingers that you don't regularly use. And every time you take a card, for example, let's say I'm playing double deck pitch blackjack. That's blackjack, but you get to hold the cards. I'm going to hold it with these two fingers because that's my go-to. But every time I have a 10, all of a sudden, I'm going to tap it with my middle finger. I've now marked every 10 in the deck.
So you have some sort of ink on your middle finger.
Right.
So you're marking the deck.
Right. So I can see what the dealer's, if the dealer's a 10 on her down card, I'll know every time. And if the next card coming out of the shoe is a 10, I'll know every time. And you can even do a secondary mark and a third dairy mark and a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, seventh, and an eighth dairy mark to represent 8 different cards.
Okay. Because you're using 2 fingers and the other 8 you use to mark cards.
Yeah.
So you can know, here's an ace, here's a...
Yeah, you can even do like this. So let's say the ink is on my middle finger.
Uh-huh.
Tap once for an ace, tap twice for a deuce, and you can see, boom, there's 2 little prints next to each other. And you can make any patterns you want to represent anything. Or
Dana White kind of exposed this dude a long time ago, saying like people were asking him about him, like, man, he's banned from every casino because he's so good. He can't come to Vegas, whatever. And he's like, Vegas doesn't. The only way you can get banned from every casino and not allowed in Vegas, you got to be some scumbag cheater. All right. And look what he's talking about, cheating, cheating. So that's how he made his rise to fame. And now he's all on these famous podcasts, hanging out with all these streamers. You know what I mean? What you got to do to get in those rooms. What you got to do to get in those rooms with those people.
Who went missing.
Who would want a cheater, a snake? I don't know the guy, but just to be that type of person, to go and to just rob and steal and do that to, like, I wouldn't want that dude around me. I wouldn't trust him.
Near Dracula's castle has still not been found. 18-year-old George Smythe went there on the 23rd. He was hiking through the area and gave a call to emergency response in Romania, saying that he was cold, he was lost, and he was feeling like he was hypothermic. So everybody went out to go to try to find him. By the time they got to where the call was made, which was about 4 to 5 miles from the castle itself, nobody was there, but all of George's belongings were there. So his sleeping bag, backpack, some food, but he was nowhere to be found, and there was no trace of where he would have gone. Because it's winter in Romania, it's been snowing there so bad that there's been risk of avalanches, there's been fog, there's been snowstorms, there's been all kinds of stuff that have caused search parties to call off the search multiple times, which is just creating an issue of probably not being able to find him, because the more snow comes down, footprints get covered up. So there's no way to really tell where he went. Police officers did say that George was taking a strange route to get to the castle, that it was about 15 miles long, not the typical trek to the castle where most people go, which could have just been that he wanted to take a different route, get more scenic, off the beaten path where there aren't a bunch of tourists. But that probably also made it a lot easier to get lost. And once he realized he was lost, he likely hung up the phone, and because he was hypothermic, kept moving, but left all his stuff. Usually when you're hypothermic, you experience delirium, so there probably wasn't a lot of logical thinking going on at the time. As of right now, they still have not found him. I believe search efforts were called off again. They're going to continue looking for him, but at this point, there really isn't a trace of where he could have gone. I also saw some people saying that his stuff was found in the castle. That's not true. That's not in any news source that I've seen. So if you have a link to a news source that says his belongings were found inside of the castle, please let me know, because I have not seen that.
Guys, we stopped at a gas station in Switzerland. This shit is blowing my mind. Again, keep in mind, gas station. Like, there's cars outside right now, pumping gas. Fresh vegetables, local fresh. Look at this shit. They got pasta. I got myself some sushi and then straight up chicken.
Tell the ingredients.
Fruit. Imagine we had this in America. With Sig culture, no one would ever be fat.
Most people wouldn't recognize if they were talking to a literal snake, exactly like Eve didn't in the garden. A lot of these celebrities struggle to not actively shapeshift when they're speaking. She's one of the most obvious ones, and nobody talks about it.
When God is within you.
So we have the deceptive serpent in Eden. The Antichrist is also going to be an ancient dragon. Proverbs says the lizard you can hold in your hands is in kings' palaces. Jesus calls the Pharisees broods of vipers and serpents, and says that they've created dens where snakes dwell of thieves. Nothing I'm going to show you is edited. You can go and slow the videos down and look at these yourself. I could see it just watching the video, but just to show you guys, look at the teeth. This woman has like a perfect, like veneer type smile. Her teeth should not be doing this. And the eyes. Every single video I see of her, her eyes shift to this up and down reptilian eye constantly. Remember, this is what a snake eye looks like. So just take note of her eye color and what her eyes look like. That's weird, her eyes are yellow. I'm sorry, but if you don't see what's wrong with these, they are literally reptilian. They're up and down like almonds, and they're yellow. I mean, you don't have to have sharp discernment to look at these and be like, okay, this is weird. And when you go frame by frame, the majority of them, her teeth are like razor sharp. This eye is yellow, and that one's red and like reptilian when she has bright blue eyes. What is going on with the mouth? The mouth and the eyes. A lot of times when she's speaking, she gets like these glowing type things. And yeah, I know I sound crazy, but that's the gag of it, is that you sound crazy for pointing it out, but it's very clearly happening. You guys can go and look at the footage yourself. I didn't do anything special to it. Her teeth are different in every single frame. Like, come on. If you don't see this, I don't know what to tell you. Look at the teeth. Look at the eyes. Look at the eyes. They are literally snake eyes. I mean, come on. People tend to make a metaphor out of the Genesis story because they don't believe that serpents can actually shapeshift. I think it's very literal. I think that Eve was deceived by a shape-shifting reptilian. That makes way too much sense for me to personally deny it.
So not only was the Charlie Kirk incident just not even real, but his kids aren't even real. His kids don't exist. And I'll say whatever I want on this page. This is my backup account. Give me a logical explanation for why there are 0 pictures of this family out in public taken by random people. Because if you'll notice, the only pictures that exist are ones they wanted taken, clearly staged for narrative. And it doesn't even matter if the kids are actors or if it's AI, because it's clearly staged. And yes, they said that they made the decision to never reveal their kids' faces, but that doesn't mean that anyone else is going to respect that. There are no candid or paparazzi photos of this family. Yeah, this is pretty convincing, right? But like, where's the hundreds of photos that all of these people over here would have been taking? It's simply not possible for someone as popular as Charlie to go out in public with his kids and there not be tons of photos of them. And I know what some of you want to say right now, that you've seen a video of them on Fox News or at a toy store. Well, guess what? Those are also videos that they wanted taken, clearly on purpose, just for the narrative. And if you combine all of this with the other fact that there's no pictures of Erica pregnant, things start to make sense. Now, with all the things that they're willing and able to fool you with using AI, what makes you think that Charlie Kirk was ever even a real person to begin with? Because in reality, all they need to do to fool you is make some fake AI debate videos, and then just put a bunch of bots in the comments section saying that they were there. Now, it's clearly much easier to fool you than convince you that you've been fooled. And it sucks because we're really actually at a point right now where nobody actually knows anything.
Remember when Diddy said he would show the world Ellen's tape? Check this out, y'all.
Ellen, we go so far back. Don't tell these people how far back we go.
I know, but I wear T-shirts. I don't know what that means. Anyway, all right, let's...
I mean...
You hold that.
Okay,
all right.
I can hesitate to it. The joke didn't work.
No, it's okay.
I don't want no problem.
What?
No, hey, so, cheers.
That guy heard everything.
That dude offed himself too, yeah.
Ellen, I heard you were sick.
Was her DJ?
And look what I got you. Your boy. So whenever you get sick, you can have this.
Thank you so much. That's sweet. I probably won't wear it, but Portia would.
In my opinion, I think Ellen was far more involved with Diddy than anybody knows. I mean, why do you think she left the United States of America? I don't think it was because who got elected. I think she's running from something. But what do I know? As always, thank you for watching. Stay weird.
It's wild how banks made $12 billion in profit last year from overdraft fees. That's profit that they literally made from people having no money.
This is what happens when lying politicians finally get caught.
It's not mixed up real well.
Is there water?
Well, Terrace ingredients now are better shared in this class. So you told me this morning when I was in here talking to you that you would drink this water, right? So would you drink it? Yes or no? So please leave a comment. Oh, you can't answer any questions? So my answer would be no. I would not drink it.
It takes about...
Like, it's so annoying, y'all. Like where I'm at. They had like some town hall. We're gonna raise the gas prices, or it's one of the either the gas, water. They already raised the electricity, but they have these town hall meetings. Like we're gonna be able, like, of course we don't want it, of course, and we're gonna go there and fight and say no. But the seeds are already planted. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. We have until we overthrow or something. We have no choice over it. And the reason they're raising our utility is because other places in Texas are what are they paying so much or paying so less that they gotta balance it out? Like, that's the reason why they're raising it. Like, how does that then they say we're gonna have a town meeting on the news, town meeting to discuss, raising of utilities at 6 PM, and if everyone goes there, it doesn't make a difference. We don't have no say no more. We have no say, and they just raise it, and everyone just goes with it. It's mind-boggling to me that, you know, everybody just doesn't come together and be like, "We're sick of this. We're done. We're done paying these taxes and our city looks like crap. Our city transportation, trash everywhere on the streets, lines in the road, they're not even painted, potholes everywhere. Where is all this money we're paying every single time we use a debit card, every time we receive money, every time we spend money, every single time we do something, we're getting taxed?"
Pennies to make creatine. So when they're charging people $20 to $40 to $60, whatever it may be, it takes 10 pennies to make creatine.
Right
so
here.
with creatine, instead, just eat some raw red meat or eat some raw eggs so that you get all the beautiful building blocks to heal the body. All of those products are pasteurized and they're made in a lab. So you get some raw red meat, and you want it organic, pasture-raised, grass-fed, grass-finished, and you eat a little bit of that. That's your best source.
So all those pedophile parties and human hunting parties, it's how they control these people is with blackmail. So each of these countries, Holland has a dark side and it has a light side. England has a dark side and it has a light side. But the dark side is always associated with the Jesuit.
You see, that number of missing people is just ridiculous. The technology we have today with the surveillance, with everything, how are that many people going missing? And when you ask yourself that question and you dig a little deeper and you do some research, you will find it's because the people, the culprits, are the most organized, powerful people on this planet. And that's exactly why the media turn a blind eye to it. I think in the UK it's something like 70 to 80,000 young people a year. And that's the UK. The numbers and demographics of it are absolutely insane. And if you don't know what's really going on, I suggest you do a little research.
And away we go. So remember about a week and a half ago, I made a video about this tweet, Candace saying there's a 9/11 style attack happening the second week of December. Well, it happened. Because not one, but two mass shootings happened within 24 hours of each other, starting with this one at Brown University, where 2 are dead and 8 are in critical condition. Then we have this one that happened at Bondi Beach, Australia, where 12 are unalive, including one of the shooters, making this Australia's deadliest shooting in 3 decades. Now, make no mistake about it, just like 9/11 being a false flag psyop, these are false flag psyops. Which means the events are real, the victims are real, but who and what behind it is much more nefarious than you think, with somebody pulling the strings. I mean, can anybody tell me why not one, but 2 survivors from the Brown University shooting were also survivors in 2 separate shootings, one in California and one in Florida? Now, I know school shootings in America are pretty frequent, which is a stat not to be proud of, but what are the chances? Then there's this, where Brett Smiley, the mayor of Rhode Island where Brown took place, his name shows up in the Google Trend searches 24 hours before the shooting in Israel. Not to mention, one of the shooters in Bondi, Naveed Akram, we know everything about him within minutes, but nothing about the Brown University shooter, as they're still trying to figure that out. And his name also shows up in Google Trends 24 hours before in Tel Aviv, China, and Cyprus.
Always.
What? Even this witness at Bondi Beach said he saw the shooters, then 4 policemen approach, but didn't shoot back.
This time, and 4 policemen there didn't give fire back. I don't understand why.
But it gets even weirder, because there's another survivor who survived a previous attack in the October 7th attacks in Israel, Who had time to take a selfie during the Bondi Massacre? Got it. Now his name is Arshin Travinsky. Now please note, this happened on the first day of Hanukkah. Yeah, the same date, December 14th, that Sandy Hook took place. You can't make this shit up. And last but not least, shout out to this guy, Armin L. Armin, a 43-year-old fruit shop owner who stopped one of the gunmen at Bondi Beach. He's breaking the narrative, being that he's a Muslim, stopping other Muslims from this attack. So, true on that, mainstream media. Now, there's a whole lot more, and I'm going to break all this down on my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, so make sure you guys hit that up. But let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
No new shit to do in the world. It's only like 5 or 6, 7 different foods. And they making all these other foods. There's nothing to do in the motherfucking world but distractions. Think about it. Every young nigga do the same shit. Every old nigga do the same shit. There's nothing to do in the motherfucking world, gang. They ain't give us too many assignments and shit to do in this world. Listen, there's nothing to do here. It's boring as fuck in this prison. Listen, it's boring, gang. What the fuck can you do here? Everybody do the same shit. Everybody run around doing the same shit because there's nothing to do in this prison. Listen, you ever been to jail before? Yeah. And in jail, everybody do the same shit, right? But what's the difference between jail and here? Everybody do the same shit here. Everybody do the same shit in jail. It's the same. Gang, we already in jail. You locked. Listen, the war in jail, and then you got the president setting the rules, telling you what to do. Right? Even in certain neighborhoods, they got time where you can go to sleep, where you can get up. Neighborhoods I live in, you can't can't mow your lawn before 7 o'clock in the morning. So they putting rules and stipulations on you everywhere you go, just like in jail. So how the fuck I'm not in jail? If you drive, you gotta go get a driver's license to drive. Just like when you in jail, you gotta get a hall pass to walk the halls. So play with me, man. They police this bitch, they police jail, gang. I'm in motherfucking jail locked in this motherfucking body. The fuck you talking about, gang?
Look at Rico and Shorty right there. Wow. She's demonic. That's really her, bro. She eating. What's she eating? What's she eating right there? This is crazy. Like, who she with? Let me see who she with. Oh, she cheating on Rick Owen. She cheating on Rick Owen. This is crazy.
Oh, hey, my stomach hurts. Let me go ahead and eat some Christmas edition Tums with, let's see, cornstarch, corn syrup, aluminum lake, yellow 5 dye, natural and artificial flavors, pharmaceutical ink. I'm reading this off of the label. Propylene glycol, titanium dioxide, and vegetable oil. Christmas edition Tums for your stomach ache, guys. We've lost our minds.
Ain't lying.
Look, this is what the world has programmed everyone to do. They're telling you, I don't believe in space. Fuck space. They are wanting us to make us feel small and not special like we were created by God. So they want to say, oh, we came from monkeys and we're on a floating rock in an endless galaxy. It's completely random. An explosion made this happen or whatever the fuck. No, it's to make us feel small and make us depressed and feel like we can't accomplish anything we set our minds to. That's the truth of Earth. And everything here is to lower our fucking confidence and our vibration. That's what I believe.
Austin's fucking deep, and that was fucking spot on, bro.
I mean, think about it. If the galaxy is infinite, why isn't Earth and other planets infinite? If the galaxy is infinite and has no ending, why does Earth why is Earth this, but the galaxy's this? Forever, 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 for infinity, infinity, infinity. The galaxy is what we're told. But us, we're on this. I don't know, y'all. We'll never know till you get upstairs and you start asking some questions. And he's got all the answers for you. But on this realm, we'll never know.
Fell in this water, you would die within minutes. You would sink right down to the bottom and not be able to swim. This is called aerated water, and it is extremely dangerous. Also, it's mostly poop. So unless you want to drown in a lot of poop water, do not jump in this. You've heard of still water, but this is the complete opposite. And it is extremely fast-moving, bubble-producing water that is at water treatment plants that is so dense in bubbles that you physically cannot swim or float in it, and you sink right down to the bottom. There are a whole bunch of signs all over these things saying, like, dangerous. There is absolutely no buoyancy. You will not float. Even if you are the best swimmer in the world, you will sink right down to the bottom and die in poop water. You will sink. You can pause to read this whole thing, but basically the gist of it is that there is no buoyancy because you need a whole bunch of oxygen to break down the water. So essentially what this is, it's a sewer where it's like a whole bunch of like oxygenated bubbles to like clean the water, and it needs that. But you cannot swim in that water because there's so many bubbles, no buoyancy, you sink. So would you rather swim in still water or aerated water? I think that I will take the chance with the brain-eating amoeba in the still water because I do not want to die being tickled by poop water particles. Thank you.
Showering in the morning is extremely dangerous, and most people do it every day. When you first wake up, your body isn't fully activated. Your blood pressure is low, your cortisol is rising, and your internal temperature is still trying to warm up. Hitting your system with hot water at that moment forces your heart and blood vessels to work harder than they should. Your vessels suddenly widen, your heart rate jumps, and for many people that leads to dizziness, nausea, or that almost blackout feeling. Morning showers also remove the natural oils your skin built up overnight, right when your body is trying to restore them. That leaves your skin drier throughout the day, more sensitive to sunlight, and more easily irritated. Even your hair is affected. Washing it during peak cortisol hours boosts frizz, oil production, and scalp dryness. Night showers, on the other hand, do the opposite. They calm your system, lower your stress hormones, and help regulate your body temperature before sleep. They wash off the dirt, sweat, and bacteria you collected throughout the day, preventing them from sitting on your skin all night. But here is the strangest part.
I found myself in Bohemian. It's 2,600 acres of redwood trees. This does not sound exciting. Some of the wait staff are female, and they all have to sign non-disclosure agreements.
So you're talking no females are allowed?
Baal or Moloch was who they would sacrifice to.
So the female staff have to sign NDAs. So what is it that they're not allowed to disclose? What needs to be protected, considering this is a place where you just perform artistic, theatrical stuff and it's nothing to worry about? It's all just for theatre and performance art. And before anyone says anything, the guy speaking was the head of a satanic church. So what was he doing there and why he was invited? But anyway, let's not get into that. You've got NDAs, you've got head of satanic churches coming to this event. This place is nothing to worry about, nothing to see here. It's all just in the name of art. Come on guys, wake up.
You guys, I think we just uncovered a new Mandela effect. So if you were born in the early 2000s, tell me if I remember the Pacific Cooler flavor of Capri Sun having a tiny surfer guy on it, like all the time. That was the packaging. I look it up online and it's nowhere to be found. The surfer guy is nowhere to be found. All the other art on Capri Suns are there except for the little surfer guy. So that's the only memory I have of the packaging of Pacific Cooler for years. So tell me if you remember seeing that packaging.
Look how trifling Walmart is. Remember I said I lost Ella's blanket in here? Why did they pick it up and tag this used blanket
How trifling.
and put it in the clearance aisle?
Used blanket for $7 in the clearance aisle that was a lost and found item. Walmart has to be joking.
All right, family. There you have today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I feel like it was a good one today. We had a good episode. I liked it. I had fun. We had some good conversations. If you made it this far, you know what to do. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. It's early in the morning. All right, had to get up early, get it done for you guys because today we are going to the mall. We're going to have baby pictures for the baby. And then we're going to try to sneak in there with Santa Claus and get him some pictures, right? Do the old school in the mall Santa Claus pictures. So that's the plan today. Maybe go out and have some lunch after, y'all. So that's the plan today. Hope everyone out there had a good weekend. Hope you're having a good Monday. We're almost done, y'all. We're almost done with the year. Now, most people now, they settle. They're like, okay, I'm going to start fresh the new year. I'm going to take it. Don't, y'all. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. If you have a strong finish, you can ride that momentum off into the sunset to start the year, y'all. So that's what I'm doing. I'm on my grind right now. Or I'm done with 2025. Right now I'm doing I'm in 2026 already, y'all. I'm already in 2026. 2025, money's done. Everything's done with 2025, right? Like these videos are for 2026, y'all. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the Man Cave. I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Later.